Hello, my name is Lígia. I'm a Christian for about 7 or 8 years, but I was not born in a Christian family, or at least not like real followers of Jesus. I was born in a Catholic family, but we didn't really like that much to go to church or anything. My mom would just push me and my sister because we didn't really enjoy being there. So when I went to university, I was still a teenager. I was 17, and during this time, with my teenager years, I was very rebel. I just wanted to try everything new. I just wanted to do everything that everyone was doing, and I spoke a lot about freedom because this is something that I thought that I lived at that time. But now and after, I started noticing that actually I was very broken inside, and I just wanted to look for things to kind of fill that gap that I was having in me. So I would look for that for boyfriends or drinking or those parties, and then when that was all over, then I would be broken again. So during the university, I was invited to a Bible study that was actually in my building, so it was easier for me to go. And at that time, it was very easy for me to just accept any invitation that would come. So if it was for, yoga classes or anything related to any kind of spirituality things, because I was very curious. So I just went. And there I identified myself a lot with the leader, especially that was a woman. And she would also tell stories about how, she was partying and using drugs and so on. So I would feel very comfortable with her because I saw that her life changed completely and she was very passionate about Jesus. So I decided to go to her small group that was only for girls. And there, listening to her story, it started really building some faith in me in a way. But at the same time, I didn't want to go to church because I had a lot of judgment about the Protestant church because of things that I heard before. And then I just wanted to go to this small group. And one time I went to church and there they spoke about homosexuality. And I had a very good friend that was and is still gay. And this really got me very angry, and I left the church saying, okay, I don't want to be here anymore, and so on. And now I understand about what they were speaking about, the Bible and so on, but I just went saying I will never come here again. And then my grandma, she was also a Protestant, and she was praying for us her entire life. And she gave me a Bible because she saw that I was going to this group, I was having some experience, and she gave me this Bible, and I started reading this. So sometimes I would be in my house with my friends that lived with me, that would go to the parties with me, and then I just read the Bible while they were also like watching the TV or anything, and they would be like, wow, Lígia, you're reading a lot the Bible, what is going on, and so on, asking me questions. And sometimes one of them, for example, was bad because of her boyfriend that broke up with her. And then she came to me and said, Lígia, I want to go to church with you because, I just want to find out the reason for my life. And she started reading my Bible as well with me sometimes. So I saw the power that I had in that, and I saw how Jesus was something that would fill this gap that was created through that nothing else could fill. And then I continued going to this small group, and one time I went to this encounter with God where I heard much more, and it was very intense because it was 3 days only hearing the word of God and so on. So I just had some experience with Jesus that I said, okay, now I'm completely sure that Jesus is real, that he exists, and this is what I want to follow for my life. And that day I decided to be in that place, and I was sure that this was the direction I want to go. But of course it was a process of sanctification, I would say, of the Holy Spirit from this time started convincing me about a lot of things in my own life that were not aligned to what He had for me, that was the best. So for example, the drinking, that I would drink a lot just to, you know, forget about things or be happy for a moment and then be broken again. And He really started healing from the inside out instead of what I was doing before, that was putting a lot of things to just fulfill the gap. So yeah, I just started having a lot of experience with Jesus and knowing that He was the most important thing in my life. And then I went home and I started speaking to my mom, for example, because she and my dad, they were having some fights. That was something usual actually in my family. And then I started speaking to her about Jesus and how Jesus was amazing and how He could, you know, change our lives. And then she decided to go to the church with me. So we went, and she also started following also the Bible and so on. And then after, my father went and my sister went. So all of us got baptized together, and it was really powerful. It was just amazing to see how God is intentional and how He loves us, and He does really everything cooperate around us for our good, as it says in the Bible. And He's real, and He's the only one who can truly satisfy us. And everything that I spoke before about freedom, I could see that was just, you know, a shadow or just a not so real part of what really freedom looks like. And I can fortunately have this now in my life. So yeah, that's a little of my story, and God bless you.